It's Wednesday, 2016, day after Melbourne Cup Day. We've just come into Reef Beach here. We do a lot of line fishing out here. We've come out today, we're just going to do a few dives, maybe 2 or 3 dives in a couple of different spots. Phil's got a camera and just going to go down there and see what we can see. Normally we'd expect to find blackfish here. We get a stack of blackfish around any of the headlands and rocks here. There's a lot of fish. North Harbour's a very fishy spot.
I reckon I got some really nice fish there.
Yeah.
I came into a hole and ducked my head under a ledge and it was just packed with these massive moes, eh? Tons of blackfish, tons of drummer, and up on top of these ledges here, full of really big bream.
We've already done a couple of dives a few weeks ago. We jumped in over near the aquarium at North Harbour there and saw a lot of fish down there. And we had a look around Sow and Pigs Reef. There's certainly plenty of fish down there. Filming them isn't all that easy, but there's plenty of legal sized fish. I mean, I've been working as a fishing guide on Sydney Harbour for 25 years, so I don't think I'd still be around if we weren't catching legal fish. We've moved over into Quarantine Bay. This is probably one of my favourite fishing spots. We get a wide variety of species here, both demersal and pelagic fish.
Yeah, so there's these fantastic underwater ledges there, and just came round and massive, beautiful blue groper just sitting there with a massive red moe on right next to him, and then some big wobbegongs in there, lots of bream, lots of drummer. We saw some lovely cuttlefish hiding in a little hole there with some red mowong as well. Yeah, geez, there's some good fish down there, fantastic. I've dived for the Navy. I've dived every day in the waters of Sydney Harbour for at least 8 years. In wide diving experience, it's very, very rare that I would not see good sized fish on every dive.
I've heard that there's been a few so-called studies put out that they saw virtually no legal-sized fish in the harbour, which is utter complete rubbish. I work on the harbour. We do all sorts of stuff, marine construction. We see legal-sized fish every day and in all locations all the way through the harbour, and it's amazing how many fish are past the bridge. So I've just got out of the water after a dive doing a bit of filming of some of the legal sized fish that are abound in Sydney Harbour. So heaps of bream, like stacks of bream, some really good ones over a kilo, and also an awful lot of luderick, some really big luderick, which you find are really common. And with the bream, they like the structure, so under nearly every wharf, especially at high tide, you'll find bream. They always come in to eat the oysters and barnacles of a high tide. I went to uni at Southern Cross Uni up at Lismore, and I studied a Bachelor of Applied Science in Environmental Science, and I majored in Fisheries and Aquaculture Management. Through work, we're not just in this part of the harbour, which is Watson's Bay, and like all the secluded bays are perfect fish habitat and just where fish are thriving. And the amount of fish life that comes in is pretty incredible.